So what I'm gonna do now is talk you guys through how to get into a supported headstand out on the paddleboard. And the most important thing is that you make sure you practice on actual land so you have some stability and knowledge about the pose before you take it out onto the water. And the most important alignment tip I can give you is to try to keep the pressure off the crown of the head. So it's not just a headstand per se, but you're actually going to use the strength of the core and the upper body to keep some pressure off your neck. So beginning in a kneeling position on your paddleboard, first locating the center point of the crown of the head by placing the base of the palm in between your eyebrows. Then where your middle finger ends up, right around there, that's the spot that's going to come onto the surface of the paddleboard. Making sure you don't place your head onto the handle, but either right before or right behind it, right there. Placing your elbows down onto the ground, wrapping the arms around the outer edges of the elbows here, and then keeping that frame of the arms when you release. Interlacing your fingers, tuck the last pinky in, and then tuck your chin, placing the crown of the head onto the surface of the board, but not on top of your hands. You tuck your toes and begin by lifting your knees up off the board, pressing your hips high into the sky. Now once you get here, breathing deeply through the nose, focus on keeping the shoulder blades off the neck and pressing the forearms down so you can get a lift from the crown of the head up off the paddleboard right there. When you feel stable, begin to maybe walk your toes a little bit closer in towards those elbows until you have your hips higher above your shoulders. So you're already in a half headstand right here. Focus on pressing those forearms down. Draw the low belly into the spine and breathing deeply here, using your core strength to find stability. And after about 5 or 6 breaths, begin to walk your toes back. Lift your head, drop your knees, and extend your arms out in front of you for child's pose. And once you're comfortable here, we're going to begin to walk the toes even closer in towards the elbows and eventually lifting the feet off the paddleboard. Now if you fall, and when you fall we all fall off the board, make sure you tuck your chin so you somersault off the board into the water, if that happens. So placing those elbows down one more time, interlace your fingers around the elbows, interlace, tuck your chin, and then when you get here, this time tucking your toes, lifting your hips up into the sky, and right away pressing the forearms down and connecting to your core here. When you feel you have your hips directly above your shoulders, if you're comfortable, one foot can lift up off the board. Maybe the second foot will lift up off the board, and we pause here. So before we extend the legs into the sky, you find your stability with your knees close into your chest. And then one leg at a time, same way you came in, you come back out. Walk your feet out, bring your knees down, and take child's pose once again. And when you feel ready to come into that full version of headstand, remembering there's no kicking, there's no swinging of legs. You're going to fall off the board because you fail by default when the board moves. So make sure you use alignment and the strength of the core to get into that full pose. Wrapping the arms around the elbows, interlace your fingers, tuck your chin, tuck your toes. Walk your toes in towards the elbows, maybe one foot lifts up, maybe two, and then once you're here, keeping your 2 big toes together, low belly pressing into the spine and slowly beginning to extend the legs straight up into the sky. Now once you're here, try to keep the low ribs pressing in towards the pubic bone. Tuck the tailbone under so you're lengthening that tailbone towards your heels. Activating all the way out into the toes so you find those nice Boga Yoga toes right there. And then focus now on pressing the forearms down, trying to get some pressure off the crown of the head. And of course, most important thing here is breathing deeply. And when you feel ready, we slowly bend those knees back into the chest. And then one leg at a time, placing the toes down, walk them out, and come back into child's pose for as many breaths as you spent upside down.